Good evening. Today is May 12th, 2020. Yesterday, meaning on May 11th, 2020, we celebrated National Technology Day. It is not the first time. Every year we are celebrating May 11th as National Technology Day. Why? What is the importance of this particular date? In order to understand this one, we need to understand the concept behind the Pokhran test. Pokhran, Pokhran 1 and Pokhran 2. Pokhran is a place in Jaisalmer district of Rajasthan. So this is the place where you have the army base, and this is the place where our nuclear detonations have been done for the first time successfully in the year 1974. Please remember, it happened on May 18th, 1974, and this particular operation was code named as Smiling Buddha. I repeat, this operation was code named as Smiling Buddha. And India, this expressed that this program is a successful one. But why? Why India went for this nuclear bomb testing or this nuclear detonations? This is because if you look at India by the year 1947, when we got the independence, India was not a nuclear power, and India wanted to continue as a non-nuclear power. This is what was expressed by Babuji. But the first Prime Minister of India, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, he got his own reservations. And he said very clearly that when the time comes, then we'll decide, let's not discuss about this. That is the reason why at that particular time, India did not think about the having a nuclear power on nuclear bombs. But in the year 1962, there was a war with China. So there was a war between India and China, and India lost the war. So that is the first time that we realized very seriously that there are certain lapses in Indian security system. We have to strengthen our security system, and that is possible only by having the nuclear powers. That is the reason why. So the idea has been started, and finally in the year 1974, on May 18th, India went for its first detonation. It happened on May 18th, and at the time Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And after many years, in the year 1998, when Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India, we conducted again 5 detonations. It happened on May 11th and May 13th, and all are declared to be very successful. And the then Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee himself announced that India is a nuclear power now. But under the international obligations like Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, and under various these programs, except the 5 nuclear powers, remaining countries should not possess the nuclear powers, and that is a clear-cut violation of the international law. And immediately after that, on India, restrictions were imposed by America and Japan immediately, and it continued by some other countries later. But over a period of time, India was very much successful in convincing the international world, and slowly, the restrictions or the sanctions have been lifted off, and everything went on very freely. So now there are fair relations between India and rest of the world. Fine, this is what exactly happened. And the detonations that took place, 5 detonations that were conducted on May 11th and May 13th, it was code named as Operation Shakti. 1974, Smiling Buddha. And with respect to Pokhran 2 of 1998, it has been code named as Operation Shakti. Please remember this. And with respect to 1998 Pokhran 2 test, 5 detonations were conducted, I told you already. And out of these 5, one was fusion, One was fusion test and 4 were the fission tests. What do you mean by fusion and what do you mean by fission? That we are going to understand after some time. I am going to show you a picture, then it will be very clear. Kindly see here, when you are trying to read the current affairs, you need to link various other topics with the current topic. That is the reason why the concept of a fission and fusion also have come into the picture. The energy that is present in sun, the energy that is present in sun is a form of fusion, right? So please remember this. So after some time I am going to tell you what is the difference between fission and fusion. I am going to show you the diagram also, but before that I would like to show you some points. Kindly look at this. Which of the following days is celebrated as a National Technology Day? You know the answer. Just now I told you May 11th, and obviously answer should be B. Right? So now I am going further. Kindly have a look at this. Which of the following statements is or true regarding the Pokhran test? Kindly remember very clearly. So this is a question that is related to Pokhran test. Now you need to identify which of these 4 statements are right. If you look at the option, you can come to a conclusion that out of 4, at least 3 are right. Minimum 3 are right. Clear? Am I clear? So if you look at, statement number B, in the option you look at the B, in option 1, 2, 3 and 4 you can see the statement number B. So without reading statement number B, you can say B is right, because B is present in all the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? This is how you can save some time with respect to, when you are writing the examination. Look at the points now. But for our better understanding, we will be going through all the statements 1, 2, 3, 4. It was first conducted in the year 1974 under the Prime Ministership of Srimati Indira Gandhi, and it was code named as Smiling Buddha. Yes, very much right. So statement A is very much right. Statement B, I already told you it is right, but for our better understanding, let me read it out for you. The second one was conducted in 1998 under the Prime Ministership of Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee and was code named as Operation Shakti. Yes, just now we have discussed. So statement A and B are right. Clear? Now if you go to C, the 1998 tests were conducted. The 1998 tests were conducted on May 11th and consisted of 5 detonations, out of which one was a fusion and the rest were the so-called fission bombs. Right? Look at the C. 1998 tests were conducted on May 11th and consisted of 5 detonations, out of which one was the fusion bomb and the rest were the fission bombs. Is the statement right? We said in 1998 we conducted 5 detonations, right? 5 nuclear tests, 5 detonations, but it was conducted on May 11th and May 13th, not just on May 11th. Very important. Clear? So option C should be wrong. And when you go to options, statement number D, the 1998 tests were conducted on May 11th and May 13th, consisted of 5 detonations, out of which one was a fusion bomb and the rest were fission bombs. Very important. Fine, these 5 detonations, out of this one was fusion and the rest were fission bombs. If you read statement C and statement D very closely, they look alike. But the only difference is that in statement number C, we said the detonations took place on May 11th, but it was conducted on May 11th as well as May 13th. Please remember this. Very important. Clear? Am I clear? So out of these five, one was fusion and the rest were fission bombs. So obviously statement C is wrong and we can go for A, B, C, A, B and D. So option 3 should be the correct answer. Am I clear? Okay. So this is how you need to read the questions. Look at this. Now I would like to show you this one. So this is the fission versus fusion. Both are physical processes that produce energy from atoms. Please remember, this is a physical process. Fission is a physical process. Fusion is also a physical process that produces energy of atoms. If you look at the first picture, meaning towards your left, you can see fission splits a larger atom into two or more smaller ones. Fusion joins two or more lighter atoms into a larger one, and the example is the energy that is present in sun. Clear? Look at this now. Fission occurs when a neutron slams into a larger atom, forcing it to excite and split into two smaller atoms, also known as fission products. Additional neutrons are also released that can initiate a chain reaction. When each atom splits, a tremendous amount of energy is released. Look at the third point. Uranium and plutonium are the most commonly used for fission reactions. Very, very, very important for the examination. What are the elements that are used for commonly used elements for fission and fission reactions? Answer is uranium and plutonium, and these are used in nuclear power reactors because they are easy to initiate and easy to control. And the energy released by fission in these reactors heats the water into the steam, and the steam is used to spin a turbine to produce carbon free electricity. Ultimately we are getting the carbon free electricity. There is no doubt about this, but there is so much of risk is involved in this one. That is the reason why lots of security is arranged with respect to these nuclear power plants. If anything goes wrong, that will damage all the surroundings. That is the reason why it is not just in India, but throughout the world, wherever you have the nuclear power plants, lots of security is provided. Am I clear? So this is the fission, and please remember the two important things here. Uranium and plutonium are most commonly used for the fission reactions in nuclear power reactors. Very, 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 very important. Clear? And also remember what is the fission. It splits a larger atom into two or more similar ones. You can see these directions. Okay, you can see the arrows, how it is getting split. Next, look at the diagram that is towards your right side of your screen. That is fusion. Now let me tell you what is this. Look at this. Fusion occurs when two atoms slam together to form a heavier atom, like when two hydrogen atoms fuse to form one helium atom. This is the same process that powers the sun and creates huge amounts of energy, and this energy is several times greater than fission. Hope you got it, my dear friends. Where from you are getting more energy? We are getting more energy in the process of fusion than in the process of fission, and the live example is the sun. It also does not produce highly radioactive fission products. Fusion reactions are being studied by scientists but are difficult to sustain for long periods of time because of the tremendous amount of pressure and temperature needed to join the nuclei together. Clear? So these are the very, very, very important points, and rest of the points I have already discussed with you, but let me show you these points also. Just 2 years before India's independence in 1945, right? And what happened in 1945? What happened in 1945? World War II came to an end. World War II came to an end. What is the period of World War? 1939 to 1945. And World War II came to an abrupt end because of the America's bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that led to the abrupt end of the war in the year 1945. And after that, we got independence in 1947. India initially decided, all the leaders in India decided that let's not go for any nuclear powers. But Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, he wanted to keep the option open. And depending on the situations, depending on the demands in the future, let's have a discussion. And that is the reason why India in the initial initial years did not bother about in having the nuclear powers. But the situation of 1962 demanded that India should be more powerful, and that is possible only when you have the nuclear powers, because our neighbor China has nuclear powers. And obviously, so if India doesn't have the nuclear power, India is always considered to be a weak nation before China. So in order to stop a country like China, India should also be very powerful with the nuclear arms. That is the reason why the first, Prime Minister of India in 1974, Srimati Indira Gandhi, she wanted to go ahead. She wanted to go ahead, and we conducted the nuclear test. Clear? Right? And this is what happened during the time. But actually, we got the nuclear powers in the year 1998 through Pokhran 2 test. Clear? So this is what exactly happened. So now I would like to show you the points once again. Kindly have a look at this. Just 2 years before the independence in 1945, the world had witnessed the horrific nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Mahatma Gandhiji called the use of nuclear weapons morally unacceptable. His protege and India's first Prime Minister, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, was also skeptical but kept the door open for a future consideration. And India's defeat in 1962 in Sino-Indian War, meaning China-India War, gave rise to legitimate fears about national security. For the first time, we started feeling, this fear with respect to our security. Then in the year 1974, India conducted the first nuclear test codenamed Smiling Buddha. Then Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi called the test a peaceful nuclear explosion. India demonstrated to the world that the country could defend itself in an extreme situation and choose not to immediately weaponize the nuclear device it tested in Pokhran. Immediately, we did not want to go for weaponization. But this is a mechanism where we can show our strength to the world and we can prove that we can protect ourselves. Look at this. The Pokhran 2 tests were conducted by the former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Please remember, at the time in 1998, he was not the president, but Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam became the President of India in the year 2002. From 2002 to 2007, for 5 years, he was the President for India. Right? But under the leadership of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the Pokhran 2 tests were conducted. And he led the scientific team that made preparation for the test. And this was assigned the code name as Operation Shakti. And the mission was initiated on May 11th, 1998. And the test consisted of 5 detonations. The first being the fusion bomb, while the remaining 4 were fission bombs. 1 fusion and 2 fission bombs were tested on May 11th, and 2 more fission bombs were tested on May 13th. With the test, India achieved its objective of building fission and thermal weapons with yields up to 2000 kilotons. Fine. So this is about the National Technology Day. It is the importance of May 11th. It is not just May 11th and May 13th of 1998. My dear friends, you should also remember what happened on May 18th, 1974. Why India went for the nuclear test, that is also important. And today, India is a nuclear power, though officially not accepted internationally, but India is one of the countries in the world with a nuclear power. Am I clear? And that's all for the day. And I'll see you in the next class with more current affairs. Thank you so much. Take very good care.